I told the girl, there was a pretty girl that I saw. She's a big Giant fan. And I go, do you go to the games? She goes, well, I have season tickets. I go, it's going to be a long year for you. And she went, well, we'll see. I go, no, we're not going to see. I'm telling you for a fact. We don't have to see it. It's going to be long. And I'm telling you, Rob, after watching your team the other night, I could be the biggest Finn fan in the world. Just like I'm a Met fan. I'm going to tell you they ain't going to be that good. Because, look, I'm honest. I can put my personal feelings.
Wrong again.
Oh, really? No,
Yes.
I'm not wrong. No, I'm not.
You're not. What are you talking about, Bob? You don't get to say anything until after the season. You're saying they're going to stink. So I'm holding you to task now. You're saying it now. We'll go back. We'll review your prediction.
No, stink strong, but they're not put it this way. You're not going to be with the fans of Miami.
Okay, so you're predicting we're not going to make the playoffs.
Well, you didn't last year, and it took like 10 things to happen, and they all did, and it was so unlikely to happen. I mean, the Browns actually beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. I mean, all that stuff had to happen, and it did. I mean, and I don't know if you're going to make the playoffs. You think about the teams in it. Think about the other teams.
AFC's hard now. You got to deal with Cleveland. Pittsburgh's still there. You got to deal with the Bills now. Never count the Patriots. I'm still worried about them.
I think they're going to make it.
You got Baltimore and Kansas City. I mean, there's a bunch.
Kansas City's great. Yes.
Yeah, you got KC, Buffalo, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and then on the side you got Patriots and Baltimore. I mean, what is that? Six powers to deal with.
And what?
Oh, Tennessee's tough too.
Tennessee. So don't tell me that they're gonna, sit there and go, well, they're gonna make it. I don't know that they're gonna make it. And you know what? After what I watched, and I know it was only preseason, you did not look good against the Bears. Did not. And I'm really honest. I'm not trying to be a jerk and pick on them, but like, I mean, look, my own personal rooting feelings are different from my honesty. I have learned to separate them years ago. 99.9% of the fans cannot do that. My friend still think the Mets are going to win it all this year. Sure. But, but no, I'm really good at that. I can just, I went with a Miami fan. Reese is a Miami fan that calls in. And I just looked at him and I kept calling him Tua. But, I was just like, well, you know what? He goes, well, things are going good early. I'm like, yeah. And afterwards, he got really quiet. I'm just like, it's going to be a long season, buddy. Injuries can change that, of course. That all changes things. But outside of that, no. I just don't see it. I don't think you're going to make it. Well, I don't say you're not going to make it. You're just not going to be great. You're a good team. You're not a great team.
I think we'll be borderline playoff team. Hopefully on the other side of the fence getting in.
Maybe. Okay. I mean, you're not going to fool anybody this year because you did that last year. So I don't know. People are going to be ready for you. I just don't. I mean, there's teams like, that are going to stink. Like the Giants are going to stink. The Jets are going to be a little better. They're going to be great. They'll be a little better.
I mean, who's going to stink in the AFC? The Bengals, the Jets, the Jaguars probably aren't going to be that good. Who are the other AFC? Colts will probably be middle of the road.
Well, they lost Wentz the whole year. He's out the whole year.
Wait, Wentz is gone?
He's out the whole year.
He hurt again?
Hurt.
I don't know. Yeah. So then the Colts will not be that good.
I don't really think they could have been pretty good if Wentz had stayed healthy and he had a decent year or a good year because they got a good day. But that's going to hurt them.
I don't know what Denver. I don't know much about Denver.
Watch out for San Diego.
San Diego, I was just wondering. I like that quarterback. They had a lot of losses, but they were in every game.
Every game, and they got quite a few games taken away from them by the ref. So,
yeah, right at the end. So they're right there. They're dangerous.
Right, they are dangerous. They gave Kansas City all they can handle, but I think the power team now, and they haven't lost a game. They played 2 games already. Is the Browns? I know it's only preseason, but don't mess with the Browns because I really think they may overtake Pittsburgh this year for that division. I could see it. I definitely could see it now. Now I can see it. The past, they weren't good enough. But now, yeah. They mean business and they're tough. And they play the Chiefs opening night. So that's going to be tough.
That's a great opener, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So, I mean, that's a hard game. Fortunately for the Chiefs, it's home. You know what I'm saying? but who knows? I mean, Mahomes has got to be healthy, and you never know.
Yeah, no, the AFC's a beast now.
Tough.
It's
If they
tough.
were in the, if Miami
Even
was
the
in the
Raiders.
NFC,
I mean, the Raiders are tough. I mean,
if Miami was in the NFC, I'd say yeah, you'd make the playoffs.
and, Miami in the NFC East, no doubt about it.
Yeah, yeah, because you know what, I think the Redskins are going to win their division, not the Cowboys. I don't. I know Doc Walker.
No, I like the Redskins coach. He's been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and they've got Young is the defensive player. Is that his name? He's great.
I think so. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, they got a top defender.
Yeah, and they do, and they've got more than that. I mean, they're starting to get some really good players, and I still think that Taylor Haneke, is that his last name? I think he's the best player they got, quarterback wise. They should start him. No one's that good in that division. Dallas is pretty good. They had a good draft, but they still got Dak, and I don't believe in him. I don't think he's that good. Just like with Jackson, I don't believe in him with Baltimore either.
To me, Dak is the biggest one who you're just scratching your head. How is this guy a franchise quarterback?
No. I'm not scratching mine because I knew from the first day that guy wasn't the right guy.
I've never thought from the jump either that he was that good.
No. And look, he was a really late round pick, which sometimes that can pan for you, but in this case, it didn't. He's lucky he had Elliott as a running back the whole time. He couldn't throw the ball very good. And you know what's funny? I remember one night they were playing, a couple of years ago, they're playing the Eagles on Sunday Night Football. And Aikman was doing the game. And they were like, he was playing terrible for like 3/4 of the game. And Aikman said, he goes, that doesn't look like a superstar quarterback to me. He said it right on the game. And I'm like, yeah. And then all of a sudden they luck out, get a fumble, and they win the game. He punches one in. But you know, no. Like, I just don't think he's very good. You know, Aikman was right. He was totally right.
But they're handing him a ton of money, and they're basically the guy. But I never saw it. I haven't seen it. Has he won a playoff game?
No, he loses him. He pulls a Favre. He loses it. Favre. Yeah, him too. He pulls a Rodgers. He loses them at home. He loses games at home in the playoffs. Matter of fact, he lost to Rodgers the 1 year.
I just don't know anyone sees him that says this guy can take a team and carry a team and win it all. I just don't.
No. He's just not very. He's not very good, and that's why I don't believe in them. I think Washington's that division is theirs for the taking. I think they're going to take it.
Which I'm completely okay with, because basically you hate them, and I hope to see them be terrible.
Right.
I hope they continue to suck. I mean, let's be honest. The Cowboys have sucked since the 90s.
Since after Aikman, those guys retired.
After Aikman and Irvin and Emmett, Dion, all the rest. Once that group left, the Cowboys have never been the same.
That was it.
I don't mind at all. Pretty much, I'd wager if you assessed the whole spectrum of NFL fandom, if they're not a Cowboys fan, they pretty much can't stand them.
Well, that's right. You know,
there's no casual like, oh, it'd be cool to see the Browns. There's no casual. Oh, it'd be nice for the Browns to win. No, people don't think that way about the Cowboys. People enjoy them sucking.
That's right. You're like the Yankees. Either you love them or you don't.
You love them or you hate them. Yeah, absolutely.
That's just how. But that's because they won so much. You know, a lot of that has to do with that, or they're always right there, even when they didn't win, and people get sick of that. You know what I'm saying? And sooner or later, if you win enough, teams like them will beat the team you love. That's kind of the Brady thing. Everybody hates Brady because
everyone said this year, oh, now you New England fans know what it's like.
Right. I mean, but that's what happens when you're winners. You make a lot of enemies.
Uh-huh. You know? Oh yeah, you want more. The more hate, the more you're doing something right.
Yeah, that's right.
Typically, when it comes to sports.
Right. Well, so it looks like the Yankees are going to make me mad and make the playoffs. That's great. And the Dodgers seem like they're the only team to me that can stop them. Because they can hit. You got to be able to hit with the Yanks. Because if you can't do that, you're done. Because sooner or later, you'll do something dumb. Go take the The other night, the Red Sox, I could have killed them. They played a doubleheader, which is 7 innings, both games, which is ridiculous. Thank God they're stopping it next year.
They're stopping what next year?
They're stopping the 7-inning bunk.
There's no more. They'll be full games from now on.
No, we're not going to play softball, girls softball no more. We're going to stop that.
There's no more doubleheaders.
No. There's going to be doubleheaders. There's going to be 9 innings again.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's not going to be 7 innings. It'll be 9 normal. Be normal baseball. Yeah.
Right. And they're going to get rid of that. Let's just put the guy on second base in the 10th inning crap.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Why should you reward somebody?
That's something. That's like the basketball tournament they just had, which Syracuse won, by the way, Boeheim's Army. But they have this thing called the Elam ending, where the game ends after when there's 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Whoever has the lead, whoever scores 8 more points than that leading score at 4 minutes wins. That's what that reminds me of when you say put a guy on second in the 10th inning.
Oh, you didn't win, but we all get a prize. No, we don't. You know what I'm saying? It's just
yeah. You just because you made it to overtime doesn't mean you get this bonus starting spot.
Right. That's right. But the other day, he gives up 2 runs early, but then you can see the pitcher is really settling in, and the Yankees can't touch him, and the Red Sox take the lead 3-2. And it's like the 5th inning. 5th inning comes, Rob. He only had 58 pitches. They just took him out for no reason at all. The minute they took him out, 5-3 Yanks, boom, like that, and they lose. The minute they took him out, it happened. And this guy reminded me of Chris Sale. I mean, he had that. He was, which the Yankees and I both noticed, not just the Yankees, because I said it before the Yankees did. They were saying he looks like a right-handed Chris Sale, who is a great pitcher. I mean, he is. And the Yankees can never. The Jeter teams can never. And he was rolling. I was just like, okay, let him go. And then, so what do the Red Sox do? They lose that game and they lose the next 2. They get swept. And now they're not even in the playoff race. This is the biggest turnaround with the Yankees and Red Sox since '78. Because the Red Sox were 14 games up in August the 1st. And they end up tying on the last day of the year. And they play 1-game playoff. And Bucky Dent goes and hits a home run. And I'm getting a phone call.
Bucky Dent. Well, we'll take that phone call as the cue, folks. So stay tuned. We're going to have a guest coming on soon. It's looking like Wayne Embry, right, Bob?
It is. Wayne was going to come on the other day, but he had an appointment, so he couldn't make it. But he definitely wants to come on, and he's really a big, big star. Believe it, because he created the last Buck team. He put them together that won it with Cinder. He was there when my brother was training for the Bucks. He put the Raptors together with Kawhi when they won it. He was a backup center on the Boston Celtics with Bill Russell. What happened was he was on the Cincinnati Royals, and he was going to retire in the late 60s, and Bill became player coach, and Bill liked him. He was actually on Oscar's team with Cincinnati. He talked him into being the backup center on the Celtics because Bill became player coach, and the Celtics, everybody thought was too old those years, and Philly and Chamberlain were going to beat him 2 more years in a row with that team. So they won. The Boston Celtics won every year in the 60s but one. They won 8 years in a row. And he's coming on. So we're going to love that. And hopefully we'll get him to bring Bill on, or maybe even Oscar or somebody like that, because he's friends with both of them.
A Hall of Fame slate of guests coming.
Yep.
Probably next week, folks. So stay tuned, share, like, and subscribe, folks. You know we appreciate it as always. So signing off with the Sports Show with Bob Spino. Take care, folks. This is Rob.
It's Bob.